I don't know about you, but or where you're located specifically. I think you said Queens, right?
Yeah.
So not too far from me, I've been lucky as of recently. This last year, I found it's called Cinemark Cinemas
Yeah.
out in Forest Hills,
Right.
and that one full price at most is $12 per ticket. So I think that's a bargain.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
And you know, some dickhead actually commented back to me at one point when I like gave some positive feedback to them and like picked them up because you know cheap theater, cheap
Yeah.
popcorn, five
Yeah.
dollars,
Right.
soda's like $3. That's not bad. That's
Right.
unheard of since like
Right.
the last 20 years. And
Exactly.
this dickhead's like, oh, but the leather on the seats are crackled and chipped away and shit. So what do you expect, stupid? It's been around since like before you were born, probably.
That's
And it's still
yeah.
in business.
Like that's what you pay for. I mean, that's really what it is. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's an experience. That's like me personally. I'm okay with it. I don't care. But at the same time, I'm so used to going to like Regal that I it just wouldn't cross my mind to even think about going to a Cinemark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't complain about it. $12 a ticket, $5 popcorn, $3 soda. I spent literally almost $60 yesterday in concession. Like I'm not.
Wow.
Trust me. Like
With,
I feel you.
with or without the ticket.
Mm. I was lucky enough to pay for the premium package, which I think was like a $60 thing. So you get two tickets with it, but you get like a whole bunch of other amenities with it.
Ah.
This came with it. This
Okay.
necklace.
Nice.
So
Nice.
that's why I always tell people I already got my free bling. I didn't even have to go to a jeweler. Like I'm good. Like yeah, yes, this may be cheap, but it's Wolverine. Like I gotta start somewhere, right? Like I'm gonna get there, but I'm gonna start somewhere. So, but
You still
nah.
paid for it.
Technically, I did. Yes, I did. So, but either way, $120 was basically spent in just one
Nice.
movie. but it was worth it, and it's only worth it because I don't go to movie theaters anymore.
Okay.
Like, and that's only on some like even before COVID, I kind of stopped because there were certain Marvel movies weren't worth going to anymore. I
Yeah.
was binging Marvel movies since 2007. I was binging Marvel movies. I went to every single Marvel movie that I could, at least. And then by 2019, by the time Endgame kind of came around and just finished, I was just like, you know what? No more. I'm good. There's no
It
way
really was.
there was no way they were gonna top it for me.
Nah.
And they had their hits, but they definitely had way more misses. And I was glad to not be in the theaters for that because I've saved so much money for that. Like, you know what I mean? And to be honest with you, it's just like certain movies just weren't worth going to the theaters for. It was like I could rather
Yeah.
just illegally see it. Boom, that's cool. We good. And whatever. And, you know, thanks to Disney Plus, I didn't, you know, they got the movies there already, so I didn't have to do all that. But, yeah, I didn't really come back to watching movies until probably No Way Home.
Oh wow. Wow.
I'm pretty, yeah, because there's No Way Home, and then Multiverse of Madness was after that. I went to the theaters for that, too, and I was very disappointed, and then I stopped going to theaters for that because
Oh,
I
you
was
were
like,
disappointed with
Multi- I,
Multiverse of Madness?
I was, and the reason why is because
Hmm.
they they bank too much on the cameos to like
Yeah.
really influence the movie so that people can go watch it. Like the story wasn't there for me, and albeit the effects are amazing. Scarlet Witch is dope. I love Strange and his and the fucking evil Strange and shit. The zombified joint, like that was hard. That was great,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the addition of American Chavez, which nobody knew who the fuck she was. I knew who she was, but nobody else knew who the fuck she was. So you're like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. We'll throw her in there. We'll throw a very convoluted story in there and cliffhanger. And then I'm like, all right, cool. I'm whatever. Let me just. I don't want to waste my money. I'm good. And I even went back for Quantumania, which I made the biggest mistake for too, and that's only because of Kang. And now I can't even say that no more. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, like yeah, it's they've been missing. So I was I had expectations for this movie. Like, that's really what it was.
Yeah, and I mean the only kind of saving grace, I guess, and it's like so bare minimum for Multiverse of Madness for me, was seeing John Krasinski as
Right.
Dr. Reed.
And it, like, that's yo, that's such a tease. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like you're not even taking me out to dinner. You're just throwing me in the loop. Like, you just gonna do that to me? And the thing is, we never gonna see him again. I mean, we might. I don't know. I can't say never because the stupid multiverse shit is ridiculous. But
didn't Disney come out basically right away and say, "Oh no, he's not him. It's just we just had him for this one. We thought it'd be cool," kind of thing? Because I swear I saw something like that afterwards.
But like, part of me wants to think that this whole different branches and multiverse shit is gonna eventually have multiple people of multiple same characters be in the same fucking room with each other. That whole Secret Wars shit is kind of gonna be really, like, stupid. And I only say that because they already planned on bringing back all three Spider-Men. So if they plan on doing that, yeah. I mean, they might bring all three fantastic, all four variants. They might bring back all fucking whatever variants of other characters there's been. But we'll see. I'm not super enthused about him being in one movie, but I'm gonna give Pedro Pascal his chance because he is a great actor, and I can't disrespect him for that. I'm just mad as a person who grew up with the original four that it's not the original four, and I hate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But last night's movie gave me some closure, and I'm okay with that, so I'm fine. Like, you know what I mean? I'm cool.
And I do want to say shout out to Foul Monk in the comments, saying that Multiverse of Madness was Wanda's movie, basically. Besides her having a whole series too, which went in depth about, her, I guess you can call it postpartum depression, kids that didn't even exist,
right?
And all that.
But then you label it Doctor Strange, but it's like, damn, are you gonna label? You should have just labeled it Scarlet Witch. You should have never labeled it Doctor Strange. You know what I mean? Like, why focus the whole protagonist into whatever? I don't even care. If they would have,
she made him light work.
Nah, right. So you know what I mean? Like, if they would have like switched the theme around in the sense that they would have made her the protagonist and see him as the antagonist, but he's really not the antagonist. You know what I mean? But they see it in her eyes. If the movie would have been like that, guarantee it would have been a banger. No cap. Yeah. I just thought about that shit right now. I'm like, you know what? That would have been great because that leads into so many different plot points and you can write so many different things about it and not be cheesy. And damn, wow, Foul Monk, you really just made me like throw up a whole theory. Like, that's crazy. Wow.
Well, speaking of theories, I guess it's no theory that you, just like myself, were very antsy, waiting, just edging, practically, to go see Deadpool Wolverine. It's upon us now. Finally, it's been such a long wait. We've been teasing so long. They leaked a little one picture of the set a while ago.
Right.
We got a quick glimpse of the Wolverine yellow and blue. I mean, I wasn't mad, but I was at least relieved that we're getting comic accurate finally after like 20 plus years of Wolverine. I was like, I could have waited till the trailer, the movie. I don't know. How'd you feel about that?
And this is gonna sound absolutely hilarious. I'm one of the Wolverine fans that actually doesn't give a shit. I mean, I'm glad he wore it. I mean, it made me happy because I love Hugh Jackman. I grew up with Hugh Jackman. So it was only right, but I can give less of a shit. It's a movie. At the end of the day, it's like not everything has to be comic accurate, and it's not going to be. MCU has never been comic accurate. They just strive for comic accuracy. You know what I mean? It's never going to be comic accurate, and I don't want it to be because there's some things you just can't write. Yeah. In as a real life movie compared to the comics. But it looked nice, and I hate the fact that they teased what they teased at the end of the fucking home stretch of the movie. That pissed me the fuck off, cause I don't even want to, cause I don't even know who's watched it and who hasn't watched it, so I don't even know if I should even talk about it this way. But do we go about this spoiler free, or do we go about this with spoilers? Cause it's going.
I was going to leave that up to you because my policy
Ah,
is there is no such thing as spoilers. You had your chance to watch it, whether it came out last week or 30 years ago.
that is true.
So,
That is true.
and as is already, we're catering too much to everybody being too sensitive. So, you know, come on. You can come back to this. It'll be saved. It'll be there. You go watch it, then come back and see what we have to say about it,
Ah,
basically.
oh my God! So, Taco, come on, bro. What you mean you haven't? Wow.
Taco!
Come
Every
on,
chance we would talk
man.
about Taco for
Yo,
a
yo,
second.
Taco, I love you, bro, but you might have to skedaddle because I'm, I'm not holding my tongue right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I kept, I was on social media for the last week, not even looking at nothing. So if I can avoid it, y'all can too. Don't even go word. So leave and then come back Monday. Word.
Yeah,
I'm
come
not
back
even
Monday.
being disrespectful. I can't hold my tongue, bro. I'm sorry. It's just I've seen the movie and it's like nah, I gotta talk about it. Listen, man. Man.
We'll
Jesus,
do that. Yeah, work gets in the
look.
way. This little thing called
I,
work gets in the way of life.
I understand. But fuck, look. I'm only gonna spoil one thing, and that's it. It's the fact that homie really had his mask the whole time. The entire movie. Didn't wear it not one time and just wore it at the end. That shit pissed me the fuck off. What type of
Yep.
shit was, like, I understand now if a fan said, fuck you, like, why would you? I get it. I understand that. That was some bullshit. But, you know what? At the end of the day, you gave it to us, and that's all I care about. That's all I care about, man. That's it. Word. Taco, that's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. You good. You good. Like, there's so much I could talk about, but it's like you putting me in a deficit right now, bro. Like, oh, but
I will
man,
add to that though. Even still, a beautiful point you brought up with the mask
mm,
is I liked it obviously like you did.
yeah,
I am also mad it took that long to finally get it, or a whole movie, then the final stretch. Oh yeah, by
right.
the way, whump right on my head.
Like,
But
put it on like a fucking hoodie. Like, yo, where the fuck was this the whole time? Because I was looking at your backside paws, and there was nothing in the back of your neck. What
yeah, there wasn't nothing.
the like, yo,
We even got side views that would have showed at least like a little bit of a flap of a hoodie dangling there. There was nothing.
Nathan,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
it
I
was
don't
one of
know.
those tucked hoodies you could tuck in the neck
Yo,
part of your shit.
fuck out of here. Like, nah, that big ass fucking wind resistant ass ears he got and shit. Big ass shit. What the how the
What do you
no.
call
I
them?
don't
What do you call them? The blowjob
the
handles
blow
or something like
yeah, the wind resistant blowjob handles. That's what he Oh God. Man, no, but like really it's a great movie just on the fact that it actually completes the trilogy because a lot of people I had read comments that people were like, "Oh, the story's so convoluted. There's nothing that's really speaking out to you." I'm like, "Did you not watch the first two movies? Like, the whole thing is one movie basically, and it's about Deadpool wanting to matter as a hero because he doesn't know who he is.
that?
It's always been the premise of the entire series, and people never seem to understand that. And the fact that they did it for this trilogy and they explained everything that they did, it's like you're not gonna get it until you watch the movies in their progression to understand that's exactly what it's about. Like, and of course, there's your little themes of love and friends and betrayal and blah 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 blah. That's cool, but that's not what this is about. This is about Deadpool. It's always been about Deadpool. It's never been about anything else. And that's what I love about the movie is that they focus on Deadpool without making it so obvious.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it's great. That's great storytelling, and only certain people are gonna pick it up. That's just what it is, you know.
yeah. And it was a good balance of adding substance to Deadpool by the third
Right,
time around, and
right.
interjecting Wolverine, which we wanted, we didn't
Mhm.
expect forever,
Right,
and now we do. But it's like enough. It's not. We had Logan, his swan song, that was
right,
done, but they
right.
just added to it like just enough. A fine balancing act between both.
Correct. And I'm glad they did it that way. I'm glad they didn't do too much. I'm glad that this isn't even technically the same Wolverine. Like it's insane that you can tell the difference, and it's the same person, by the way. This really goes to show that he really could play Wolverine for the rest of his life if he wanted to. But I'm not gonna make it.
No.
Like till he's 90, till he's 90. Nah, but for real, like just the fact that his personality was just so different. It's the aggression. He was so aggressive. He was just. That's not like him. Like, if you compare this Wolverine to Wolverine from X-Men or even his standalone movies, drastically different.
Yeah.
In every way, shape, or form. Like, same body, same person, different personality, different mindset, different everything. It's astonishing that after so many years and wanting to not play the character and completely telling Marvel to fuck off every single time they've asked him, that the time that he does come back, he nails it really fucking well. Yeah. And especially the action sequences, because a lot of people were like, "Oh, he's old. He's looking brittle. He won't be able to move as fast on the action sequences." I'm like, nah. I don't think you guys watched the same movie I did. He was moving. He woo! I'm gonna watch it again because I was astonished. What a great movie that was! Wow.
You could tell by his arms. The fucking
that man went back to the fucking gym, bro. He was in the gym every day, son. Like, what? I want to get like him now. Like, shit.
Well,
nah.
Speaking of Wolverine and getting enough of a proper dosage of Wolverine and Deadpool Wolverine, and of course the running gag is, we're gonna have him do this shit until he's 90. Hugh Jackman, of course, will talk about. And since we're doing spoilers. And if you haven't seen it yet, too bad. Just come back afterwards. It's all good. How did you feel about Henry Cavill as Wolverine when Deadpool went out searching for all the different multiverse versions of Wolverine? I'll let you speak on that first.
Well, first off, I just want to take a nod at the fact that they introduced a lot of different Wolverines, by the way. A lot of my favorite Wolverines. Fucking one-eyed fucking samurai Japan motherfucker, Captain fucking Logan, Old Man Logan with the fucking gun and shit, Beast Logan. Listen, that might be the best part of the entire movie. Fuck everything else. Like, for real. That shit, it's just, look, I spoke to my girl about this after the movie. I said, listen, I think Cal could be potentially, maybe, if they did a one-off movie at one point in the near future, it could happen. I would be okay with it. Off that scene alone, I was a little bit convinced. Not that much, but I was convinced. The only thing is, he can't be exactly like Hugh Jackman, and which is exactly what he looked like, and that's what pissed me off. He acts kind of the same. Like, I'm gonna need him to do some different Wolverine comic variation type of personality to not have the same thing, but he could do it. Like, he could pull it off if he wanted to. But I don't think everybody really perceived it that well. My girl hated it. She was like, nope,
really?
Not having it. I'm like, really? She's like, no. I'm like, is it because he was Superman? Like, I get it, but he could pull it off. I could see it, but I gotta like maybe watch a couple more scenes. Really, I'm not fully convinced yet.
I didn't hate it either. I didn't love it. I'm like in the middle because I'm one of those that I'm not gonna say he was the best Superman, but he was one of the better top 3 Supermen at least.
Right.
Because there's only Christopher Reeves and that's it really. Or if you want to go to the comic books, I guess, that really did the character like justice or made like people like, I want to fuck with that Superman pretty much.
Right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to start laughing when you said Christopher Reeves, but when people say Christopher Reeves, Eminem just pops in my head. I'm so sorry. Oh Lord. You're right though, and I will say I also agree with that. I wasn't a very big fan of Man of Steel because I just didn't like the story, but I did like his character. He played him really well, but obviously, I guess not well enough to where DC wanted to keep him. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I mean, just to kind of touch on that too, because I did like Man of Steel. I'm not going to say it's a great movie, epic, anything, but it's a guilty pleasure for me. I'll go back and watch it, and I say for me it was just fine.
Right.
I hated what they did afterwards with the fact that they scrapped Man of Steel 2,
Right.
and in place we got Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice,
right.
which
Well,
we
you
did
know,
not need
when you
at all.
when you want to capitalize on the money, which you can't do if you're not doing it right, then you know,
Yeah,
kind of you get Batman vs Superman, and I was in the theater for that,
I
and that
was
was,
too.
yeah, that was the moment that I kind of just stopped with DC at that point, and it was crazy because like you weren't really getting DC movies at this point. You were really getting them very far in between. I think it was like Man of Steel, and then you weren't getting shit for a while, and then we got Batman vs
Hmm.
Superman out of nowhere. And I think that's what drew people the most was like, oh, Batman! I haven't heard Batman since 2008, like or whenever
Hmm.
the last 2010, I mean
2013.
2011 or 2013. Okay,
Yeah,
that's a long time. That's 3 years at least. I think that's when I think it came out 2016. Batman vs Superman, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
2016.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so I mean, people want their Batman fix, you know, Superman, Batman vs Superman, and I think there was an animation at this point that had came out for it too. They were also kind of just banking on that popularity. So,
Yeah.
um,
True.
they just, yeah, like you went about it in a way that just didn't make any sense. Like you had Batman, which is cool, but you know we don't know what the fuck he's been doing for 3 years. And then you had Superman, and we didn't do cool. And then you introduced Wonder Woman for the first time. Like,
Yeah.
okay, where the fuck was she at this whole time? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where? Cool,
You have a
whatever.
girlfriend, you should know. Women take this sweet ass fucking time to
Nah,
get
but
ready for anything.
like you gotta
Never on
understand.
time.
You can't. You can't just like if they gave her like at least a standalone before that, I'd be cool with it. If they would have gave us Wonder Woman before that, I'd be fine. It made sense. Boom. But she came out of fucking nowhere. Yeah, I'm a princess. I got the sword. I got a fucking shield and a big ass lasso. Where did you come from?
How did you know to come here?
That's what I'm. Oh, bro,
Her whole planet, her whole existence, whatever, and she just in a mind it comes a Superman and a man bat need my help. Time to spring into action.
Now you understand how stupid.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I don't. Oh wow! And after that, I haven't seen a DC movie since.
Oh
So,
wow, you've been off.
um,
Okay,
maybe
I get
Joker,
that.
but
I get
like
that.
Joker doesn't. Joker, I don't count. I don't for some reason I don't
No,
count
it doesn't.
Joker as a.
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
like yeah. So it's like if other than that, really, it's like no, I haven't seen anything else. It's just nothing is really. Oh no, I did see Blue Beetle. I'm lying, but I saw
Oh
it
God, you
on
went to
HBO
see
Max.
that?
No, I saw it on HBO Max. It was, you know what I
Okay,
mean? I don't,
good.
but if it's not worth my time, I'm not gonna go see the movie. But,
How'd you feel
um,
about that? Because I have no interest whatsoever in checking it out. So
it, I had no interest either, and I'm not gonna lie, there wasn't anything that the movie did to keep me captivated as much. But I like George Lopez, and I just wanted to see how the movie turned out. And it's really your traditional, typical superhero movie, just with Latinos. That's you know what I mean. That's really and it's cool. You know, Latin representation is great. I'm
yeah, of course.
completely for it. But
Not when
wow,
it's forced.
yeah, like it's cool. It is what it is. I whatever floats your boat. It is what it is. But it wasn't like I could watching the movie made me realize I'm glad I didn't go see it in theaters. You know.
Tell me this, since you actually watched Blue Beetle,
Mm.
was there any point in time where any of the characters said to Blue Beetle, whatever his name was, "You're making our people proud, son," in a heavy accent? Anything similar to
Uh,
that?
yeah,
It
yeah,
was.
something like
I
that.
knew it.
Something like that.
They
Probably in Latin, and
get that
probably
shit.
in Spanish, most likely, if I remember correctly. But like I expected that. Like that's what I'm saying. It's a typical superhero movie. It's not. It's a little bit unorthodox into the origins of you know with the Beetle and it's an alien and shit. But other than that, it's really your typical traditional superhero movie. That's just what it is. That's why it didn't really do so
No
well in the
shame.
theaters either. You know what I mean?
No
But
surprise.
but to keep them afloat and to keep DC at least being talked about, it's good for what it is. It's average. It's better
Yeah.
than The Flash. It's better than Batman vs Superman. I'll say that.
Okay, interesting. If that's the case, then I might have to check it out to see if it is, because
It isn't. It is.
it's hard to even rank Batman and Superman for me, because I'd say it's not even good. It's like just beneath that level of like mid, I guess. I don't know. That I think was actually a better example of fan service, for the sake of, we got Batman, we got Superman, we'll just slap them together like putty and just throw it on the screen, and then there you go, Batman, Superman, your wet dream came true on the big screen.
Yeah,
Fucking nerds.
Yeah,
Which
basically.
Which I don't like, and I'm sure you don't either, that they accuse Deadpool Wolverine of just being all fan service, which is not the case.
But this is,
but it isn't.
This is what you would. Well, it's not. Actually, it's not. And I'm going to tell people why in a second. People need to understand that the difference between Deadpool and Wolverine and Batman vs. Superman is that Deadpool and Wolverine is something that people actually wanted for since 2016, since the first movie came out. They've been asking for this, and every single time they asked Hugh said no, which is fine. Now, mind you, he retired Wolverine, and we were okay with it. The only reason why we're okay with him being Wolverine now is because he agreed to doing it and is actually willing to want to participate. The thing about Deadpool and Wolverine is that it wasn't forced. It's a genuine relationship. It's a genuine movie that was made with genuine people that actually wanted to see it get done. Batman vs. Superman was a movie that was forced to be made because they needed the money.
Yeah.
That's the biggest difference. And you can tell based off of just the opening sales, based off of how much press it's been getting, how much people have been wanting to see it. Besides the fact that they did capitalize on fan service, the capitalization of the fan service leads into the story being good. It's not even just fan service just for fan service. And that's what I loved about the movie, that they found ways to integrate their fan service and the story, put it together, and not make it corny. Yeah. That's all you need to do. And that's the only person that can do that well is Deadpool. That's it. No other movie and any other person could not do this.
No. And it's really hard to do.
Absolutely. And that's just...
But it's not so hard to do when you give a shit like Ryan Reynolds and everyone involved too.
Exactly. Exactly. You want to know why I say this too? Because even the motherfucker was in Fox, he had a good 2 fucking movies. He's the only person that I know that's had a good 3 fucking movie run that hasn't been shit. Like, RDJ had 2 great movies, Iron Man 3 nobody talks about.
No.
Right. You know what I mean? Thor, the first 2 movies, nobody talks about them. Ragnarok, everybody talks about it. Yep. Love and Thunder, shit was ass, right?
Yeah.
Boom. Like, even the Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man trilogy, the first 2 movies, mwah. The 3rd movie, everybody hates. You know what I mean? So it's like, no, I don't even think any actual Marvel character has gotten 3 movies that actually weren't shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that I know of. From what at least from what I know. I don't want to count groups. I just want to count individual standalone films. And as far as I know, he's going 3 for 3.
I'd be in agreement to that. I think it's safe to say he's got a pretty immaculate streak right now compared to everyone else, at least in solo runs.
Right. So, damn, I just, I don't know.
Yeah, shout-outs to Action Figure 973, or Action Figure, of course, that's his tag only here. With very valid points. DC movies tries to set the Batman movies. So, yeah, we got the Nolan trilogy. That was the last great thing, I guess, from DC ever.
Right.
And the only DC character that gets done right, even in Batman vs. Superman, because I loved Ben Affleck's version of Batman, Batflick, and especially that warehouse scene towards the end where he fucking everybody up like it was an Arkham game.
Right. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Honestly, I agree, but it's also because like Batman is the most like relatable, down to earth person you can write about. Honestly, you know what I mean? Like, which is kind of fucking weird to say because a lot of these DC characters have issues, but I think that one of the biggest things with Marvel is that a lot of the Marvel characters have a lot of mental issues, and because a lot of real life people have mental issues, there's your relatability right there. So it's like it's easier to write for Marvel characters as opposed to DC characters, and I can completely understand that. But I think hopefully James Gunn does something right. I don't. Did he do the Flash? Because if he did, then that's suspect.
I think he wasn't involved. I think he wasn't
I
involved.
hope not.
He was. He was after they finished.
Word.
Or something like that.
Okay, so I mean, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because I love Guardians a lot. So he did right by them. So I'm gonna. We'll see how he does with that. But realistically, I'm gonna be honest with you. It ain't looking that good DC right now.
No. Well, I don't know how you feel about the Batman with Robert Pattinson. I liked it.
I'm not mad about it. I just don't like that they're doing. Oh, it's a Batman from a different universe. Like, oh, come on! Like, I'm tired of this. Like, bro, I can't. I'm tired of the different universe, different people thing. Like,
and everything has a multiverse now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I want one continuity. That's it, just for right now.
You know what that is?
Shit later.
You know what that is? It's all this
What?
multiverse shit. Every single entity has a multiverse. That's lazy writing. That's them not wanting to fucking create something from scratch to make it cool. And that's also my point of view, at least anyway. What I hate is when they reintroduce characters as a different color, gender, whatever, just because to be all inclusive.
Right.
Instead of just write a new black character, write a new gay character, make them cool, give them a good lore, backstory, make them something worth investing your time into reading, watching, whatever the case is. But no, the multiverse shit for everything now is super lazy.
It's crazy too because there are characters that are from the LGBTQ or that are black or of another minority that are in Marvel that could easily be represented from that category. It's just it really all depends on Marvel. Really, that's not even I can't. If I was a Marvel writer, man, some shit wouldn't be going this way. But I don't get paid by Marvel to say anything. So and they might sue me. So I'm not gonna do that. But
I can see you trying to work with them eventually, since
I would love to. My biggest goal is to have a fucking track produced by me with Wolverine fucking killing people. Like, literally. I've been dreaming about that ever since, which is terrible to dream about. I'm sorry. I don't dream about violence. I'm just dreaming about the scene happening and the music around it. Right, the energy. Like, but absolutely, I would love to if they don't not like me. You know what I mean? Right.
In the movie, and again, we are doing spoilers. So by the way, if you're being a pussy about that, too bad. We're just being real up here. We can talk about this shit. Come on. You had 3 whole days already to watch.
I ain't even really spoil the movie for people. Like, there's some real good shit that happens in there. Like I said, as a person who grew up watching Fox movies, this made my childhood self so happy. Like, I actually cried at the end of the movie when they had that little behind the scenes of all the Fox movies that they were a part of. Because I'm like, yo, I was here for all of this shit. I mean, I wasn't directly there, but I grew up with this. I watched all the movies. I was calling people every day talking about the fucking movies, just having theories and shit. I remember staying up watching tons of theory videos, tons of just comic videos, and listening and just trying to understand where they're gonna go next. I still do it to this day. But it's like, damn, bro, like, not only does Fox not own Marvel anymore, but like all those movies now that I watch were from them. So it's like, it's not even necessary that the movie's a big fuck you to Fox, but more like a thank you. Yeah. And we're gonna take what you did and we're gonna move on with it and make it what it's better. Not better that it wasn't good, but we're gonna move on and use what you gave us and have that foundation and put it all together. Like, I found that really beautiful. And it
was a nice touch.
Like, that's another underlying theme about the whole movie that people didn't understand too. That the movie was really blatantly trying to tell you, like, hey, by the way, we're part of Disney. I'm literally letting you know this now. Fox doesn't own us anymore, but we love you, Fox. But still, fuck you, Fox. But we still love you, Fox. Like
Hmm.
it's hilarious.
Oh yeah,
I love it. The movie. I might have to watch the movie again just to understand more plot points. There's certain things I probably still haven't gotten, but off of the first watch alone, so many great things that were pointed out to me.
definitely. Because would I be wrong in saying, let's say, like that little, a very classy move, that little homage they paid to all the old Fox movies at the very end, instead
Right.
of like the obligatory
Mid
mid-credit,
credit. Yeah.
sneak peek, whatever they're going to do next, right?
Right. Right.
Um, would it be safe to say that, let's say now, since we moved on from the Fox era and we're in the
Right.
Disney era now, it's
Yeah.
almost like we were the battered wives of Fox for so long. They've been drinking, they've been sleeping around, they gave us STDs and everything and said you're going to take it and like it anyways. And now we're upgraded to stepdaddy, the new man's, that might have a, I don't know, bigger dick, or he might be vegan and annoying, but at least he's safer to stick around. He's, no one's punching our faces in no more, at least. We're not walking around with black eyes trying to cover up with big ass sunglasses.
Right. Right.
Maybe that's a little dramatic, but that's kind of how I feel. We've escaped Fox.
Maybe you're taking it a little bit harder than I am, but like I can
We're
see
at the
what you
foxhole.
mean by that. No. I completely understand what you're saying because a lot of people have been telling me too, like, oh, Fox ruined Marvel, and I'm like, no, hold on, wait a minute, like, we need to pause right there. They gave us some really good shit, like. They try to be as comic accurate as much as Marvel did at a certain point. I'm not gonna disregard Fox at all, but I will say that some of the forced content they gave us, I wish they didn't do. They probably should have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wish they would have waited and did something better. But again, they gave us Blade, they gave us X-Men, they gave us Fantastic Four. Like, I grew up watching those movies every day. So I'm
Yeah.
never gonna ever disrespect Fox at all. But then they gave us the worst from those movies too, and we're not gonna talk about it.
We can leave that all behind, of course. The Fox days are over. That's it. Out of here.
We're gone. We're out.
Hawk 2 on that shit.
Oh, yeah.
But before we jump off of Deadpool Wolverine, I did want to ask you basically two things to rank.
Yeah.
As far as, first, let's go with the cameos and or guest appearances. I want to get your take on it. So I'll name them, and you give me your top five, preference.
Ooh.
We had, as far as cameos, and again, spoilers, by the way, sorry, but yeah.
Word, I'm sorry. Word, if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. I tried. I'm trying. He's not. Like, I don't blame
Sorry.
like,
You could step in and say, no, goddamn it, let these people watch it first. Then
I did, but like at this point, nah. Listen, this is you, bro. This is your podcast. I ain't telling you nothing. Y'all been warned. Y'all been warned. Y'all been warned.
No, I've been warned. All right, so as far as the cameos, all right, we got Elektra, Blade, Gambit, X-23, grown up, Sabretooth from the Fox era, Chris Evans, Human Torch / Johnny Storm, OG, Fantastic Four, Juggernaut, Toad, Wolverine with the mask at the very end, because I'd say that's a first-time appearance, if anything. Asterisks.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Got every version of Deadpool imaginable that could fit on screen, and then finally Henry Cavill's Wolverine. So out of
The
those I
Calvary.
mentioned, your top five.
Wow. Fuck. Number 5 off rip, Sabretooth. 100%. I actually shed a man tear. I was like, wow, that man's old as fuck. But like, holy shit, he's alive. And then when they won off that nigga so quickly, I was like, damn, you're weak. Like, holy shit. Like, how did you give this man so much trouble in the beginning? Whatever. That's cool, though. It was amazing. I was really happy about it. Oh my god. Woo! Number 4, definitely Elektra. That actually hit a soft spot for me. I wasn't expecting her to be there. That was a surprise cameo for me. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be very honest with you. I
out of
was like,
nowhere.
word, right? Like I was just watching the movie the other day, so it was just like, oh shit! Like I wonder if they're ever gonna have her come back for some shit, and she's just there. And I'm like, and then they mentioned Daredevil. I'm like, so she okay. So all right, cool. And she
I
was
only caught that
fighting.
the second time I saw it too. That
Yeah,
line.
yeah. Like see, you gotta. That's why I gotta keep my ears. I keep my ears in tune for them shits. It was good, and she was fighting too. She was doing really good. Her fight scenes were really good. She was just.
Yeah,
I think if they would have given her another movie with MCU, but like an actual reboot, I could see it maybe doing some numbers for sure.
yeah,
For like a
definitely.
woman standalone, definitely. Um.
So
Mm,
that's number 4.
mm, mm, mm. X-23 is number 3 for sure.
Mm.
Um. Uh. I, I I might have cried through the whole movie. I think I just like I shed a little tears here and there because it's damn like she's older now and like she has such an attachment to this motherfucker and it's like oh man and it's like damn you can't even be around him like that and it's like you spent so much time without him. What the fuck did you do all this time? Damn like god it's so emotional. Like
Yeah.
me thinking about Logan during watching this movie is what made it more emotional for me because I'm like, damn, I had
Hmm.
just watched this movie not too long ago, and when I first watched it, I was in tears. I hated the fact that I cried so much, but I was like, damn, the character that I grew up with the most isn't gonna be here anymore, and then so it's very bittersweet. But she was amazing. I love her.
Yeah.
Number she was 3, right?
3. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Right. So 2 for sure. 1000%. And it's very hard for me to say this because he should really be number 1, but it's definitely Wesley Snipes.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. Good.
I say that with a grain of salt because and the reason why I say this is because I'm marked out, yes, but I didn't mark out nearly as much as I did when I saw Chris Evans, and it wasn't even. Listen, it's the troll that they did with
Yeah.
the fact that they were like, "Word, it's Cap." I'm like, "Cool, word, it's Cap. It's a different Cap." I was happy. I was like, "Oh my god, he's Cap again." Fuck, Clarence. Like, word. Like, I love. Listen, I love. Fuck, I keep forgetting his name. God damn it. Shit, Anthony Mackie. I love
Anthony
Anthony
Mackie.
Mackie. I love Sam. I love him as Sam Wilson. I have no disrespect. I love him. I love him. But like, I was
Probably
hyped.
not.
I was like, word. But he said flame on, and I'm like, oh, yo, I screamed so loud. I was like, oh, like, oh, I needed that. I needed that, bro. I've been watching Fantastic Four like the whole fucking month, bro. I was like, I needed that. I needed that so bad. And they rumored Chris Evans to be in the movie. And I'm like, word, he's just going to be Captain America. He's not going to be Human Torch. There's no way they're going to do that. They might, but they're not going to do it. They're probably going to troll. They're going to be like, oh, he used to be this fiery one guy or some shit. I'm like, word. Come on, bro. Like, it's funny, too, because I was just talking to Johnny Storm about this
The rapper
literally
time.
this
So yep.
morning. Yes, the rapper. And he was just like, yo, they off my man so quickly. I'm like, yo, man, like, why they do that to you? Like, you can't be doing that, bro. Like, you can't be talking shit about people. Like, like, come on, son. Like, but nah, like, he's the number 1 for me,
Okay.
100%. Like,
Okay.
but Wesley Snipes is definitely the number 2. Like, Wesley Snipes was definitely the close number 1 for me, but like, he didn't have as many lines. He
No.
was very stoic, which is okay because that's just his character anyway. I was just hyped that he was there, but he didn't lose a step. And I feel like if this fucking Blade movie doesn't work, they can easily call that man up to do some older Blade movie, 1000%. Like, and they alluded to it too because they definitely said like there's only going to be one Blade. I'm like,
Mm.
what you trying to tell me? Like, there's no Marcella Ali fucking Blade movie because I'm hyped with that. I got no problems with that shit. They've been canceling that shit for the last like 4 or 5 years, pushing it back, putting like 3, 4 different directors, and I'm just like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'm
Get
gonna
Wesley.
just cancel it. You might as well just cancel it
Yeah.
and get Wesley Snipes on board and
Just put in his
pay him the money
contract
that he wants.
at when
That's
you get
it.
paid, pay your taxes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Please.
and he'll do it. He'll do it if they give him the right money. He'll do it because if he did this, there's no way he wouldn't do a fucking Blade for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Definitely,
man.
definitely.
But those are my five. My
Nice.
top five.
I like that.
I hated Gambit. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Really?
And it's crazy too because I was definitely rooting for Channing Tatum as Gambit in my very early years when they first alluded him to being Gambit in the X-Men Origins joint. But then it wasn't him, and I'm like, who the fuck is this random fucking whatever? But that motherfucker was a better fucking Gambit than Channing Tatum was. Like, oh my god, shitty ass accent. Like, yo, I love Channing Tatum, but bro, like, that was ass. Like, what the fuck? It was terrible. Like, maybe X-Men 97 spoiled me very badly, but like, I'm gonna tell you right now, like, that shit was not Creole, not Creole, Cajun. Sorry, a Creole. That was not Cajun. Oh my god, that's not even remotely New Orleans. Like what the fuck? Like, no, get that motherfucker off my screen, please. Jesus Christ, like, oh god.
But I would like to point out, at least the costume was on point.
That was fun.
Very close to the
I wasn't mad about that. I was okay with it.
Even with that weird like head wrap thing like right beneath his hair.
Right. The problem with that was that I was focused on his fuck ass accent the whole time. So I'm just like, don't get me wrong, I did look at the costume a couple times and I was just like, oh wow, this is pretty accurate. And I'm like, but why do you sound like this? You have no reason. Well, you should have just stuck to your regular voice. Like, I don't. Oh god.
And also, while I did love the overall costume, the appearance, like being so accurate, like close enough, like jumped out the comics accurate almost. Right. I didn't like that the head wrap thing. I don't even know what that is, honestly, because it's not a ski mask, it's not like a head wrap, whatever.
Right.
But it was so tight on his face, like it was squishing his face together, like he looked like he had a pudgy face or he drank too much before like shooting the scene or something. I don't know.
I mean, he was drinking. I mean, Wolverine was drinking the shit. Like, I mean,
well,
so they're being accurate.
That was accurate. Yes, definitely.
Oh man, but yeah, I'm gonna say all the cameos were amazing. I honestly don't think some of the top five might even be interchangeable if they might change one day. But like realistically, those are the five to me that stuck out just off of my personal experience with said characters beforehand. Anyway,
nice.
Yeah, like I don't honestly this is a movie that I'm glad they didn't give us more cameos. Like,
yeah,
I think this is
just enough.
Exactly.
Just enough. One more would have like made it too much.
Right.
And really, when I'd have been like really digging back in the archives or like from out of nowhere, we haven't gotten anything yet from this person. But I think they got it just right with the number they gave us.
Right. Yeah, I agree 100%.
Now let's move on to the last point we'll make about Deadpool Wolverine, and I'm going to ask you about the fight scenes. So I'll name them off, and you tell me your top three in that case.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go with the opener, which I'm going to say right now my personal favorite, because the song choice, the action, everything just incorporated, the desecrating of Wolverine's fucking adamantium skeleton, Logan's, excuse me. Deadpool versus all those TVA agents. You got, after that, the first fight between Deadpool Wolverine in like the Void Desert, whatever that was, right in front of the 20th Century Fox logo, which was a nice little stab, homage to them, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Right after that, I probably put that number 2 for me, the minivan fight between Deadpool Wolverine. Song choice I wasn't so crazy about. That was a little corny, the Grease song. I didn't love that.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I think every scene had like the best song choice. Like, cause you know what, I'm me being a producer and the fact that I listen to so much different shit, I love everything.
Yeah.
And all of it just had me dancing. I was dancing as much as I was like, yeah, tear him apart. But I was like, yeah, tear him apart while I dance. Like, it was great. Like, I'm okay with it. It fits the personality of the film. That's what people need to understand. Like, yes, it's going to be corny, but Deadpool is corny.
Yeah.
Like, that's the premise of the whole film. Like,
True.
so if you could look past that,
Yeah.
I feel like it brings more character to these scenes. Because if you just give it some like serious ass undertone, it could be. There's no problem with that. And they had scenes that had really serious music under it. But I feel that scene in particular made it even better with the music.
Mm.
And it actually made it even more violent.
It did. Yeah.
So it's like, I want to one day take, whenever the movie comes out, take those two scenes and put different music under it. And see how different it would have sounded, or how different someone would have reacted had it just been not whatever the song was. I completely forgot what it was.
Nice. So the one after that would be the Blade, Gambit, X-23, Electro, Wolverine, Deadpool team up versus all of Cassandra's goons. And then the last one is Deadpool, Wolverine versus all the Deadpools.
All the Deadpools, right.
So out of those I mentioned, what's your top three out of all of them?
Top three. All right. I wanna take you there. I'm sorry, that shit's stuck in my head. I think number 3 is definitely the minivan fight. It's great. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I prefer the Deadpool and Wolverine versus all the Deadpool fight at number 2, preferably, just because it was actually very humorous and extremely gory. And also, what was funny about it, and I actually laughed the entire time. My girlfriend was asking me, like, why are you laughing the whole time? I'm like, do you not get how funny this is? Why would you kill all this many Deadpools knowing that they all are going to regenerate anyway? And she's like, oh, wow. I'm like, this is why it's funny. It's like, did y'all not think about that? Like, okay. And then I like the fact that in the one scene, he sacrifices the non-regenerated Deadpool. And that shit had me... Oh, man. Like, if the fact that he could poke fun at himself is absolutely hilarious. I love Ryan Reynolds. He's perfect.
Yeah.
He's perfect. And then the coming out the bus thing with the little slow-mo that they came out with.
Yeah.
Perfect. Great shot. Love it. But number 1 for me, definitely the NSYNC desecration, necrophiliac mutilation of death with all the TVA agents. That shit was perfect. Oh my god. Me and my girl were doing the whole choreography and all that, bro. It was hilarious, son. It was great. It was fantastic. That might be better than the first movie's opening. And I prefer the first movie's opening a lot to a lot of openings, period. But that one right there might be the best opening I think I've seen in a while.
Yeah, and by the way, shout out to Ryan Reynolds for busting out all the moves like beautifully as he did in between the fights.
To find out, it's not even Ryan Reynolds that did it. It's actually a dancer that I don't remember the name of right now, but he is close friends with Ryan Reynolds, and they have the exact same body shape, which is fucking weird. So he just did all the dances, but obviously the choreography was probably done by Ryan Reynolds. But honestly, I don't know. I'm kind of convinced that it might be Ryan Reynolds, but at the same time, I don't know. I
wouldn't be surprised if he took the time to learn the fucking whole choreography.
I wouldn't be surprised either, but like, I don't know. Twitter might be lying to me. Twitter might not be lying to me. I hope they're lying to me so I can believe that it was Ryan Reynolds. And part of me really wants to believe that, but
Wolverine,
I don't know.
I think you know better than to trust Elon Musk's platform. for your fucking information.
Yeah, but the source wasn't Elon Musk per se. The source was Blake Lively. So,
okay.
right.
All right.
So if I gotta,
yeah, we'll take it. It's fine. We'll trust
you. Right. Shout outs to Blake Lively, by the way. She did great.
Shout outs to Blake
Deadpool.
Lively. I just read earlier today she was actually Lady Deadpool.
Yeah.
I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
Because I was just scratching my head the whole time, like, who was that? That's
Blake Lively. So my thing is, I was under the impression of two things. It's either going to actually be Blake Lively, or it's going to be Ryan Reynolds. Like, literally, and I would have laughed if it was Ryan Reynolds. I actually told my girlfriend, I was like, hey, it's going to be Ryan Reynolds, 100%. But I'm like, well, if she doesn't actually take off the mask, well, she could have probably just did a voiceover too, but I don't know. It was, the body was very woman-like. It might actually be Blake Lively. So, and she is credited as Lady Deadpool. So I'm going to take her word for it. I'm going to take it that it is her. But if it is Ryan Reynolds, I also wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Definitely. So that is the Deadpool Wolverine portion of this episode right here. So we have a lot of time for Wolverine himself, the producer, not the guy that shared the screen with Deadpool just now, taking over the theaters this whole weekend and the next week. I can't wait to see the box office numbers for this thing.
And so far, they said that it's surpassed about 200 million. So hopefully, I'm hoping it reaches about 3. My guesstimate is 3. It might maybe go over that, but they keep projecting 5, and I'm like, 5 is a good number, but that's pretty steep. Like, everybody got to go see that shit at that point if it's gonna be like that. But we'll see. Well, hopefully it does. It's been pretty successful so far. I mean, it's at best this is like Endgame weekend to me. Like, and as far as the draw and the popularity it's getting, because a lot of people try to compare this to No Way Home, and I'm like, don't get me wrong. No Way Home had a huge draw too, but No Way Home had a huge draw because they actually did rely on fan service. But they used the fan service in the story, yes, but the story wasn't like great, I guess, comparatively. And I'm not saying this because I just watched Deadpool Wolverine last night. I'm saying this because as a trilogy, that story is explained way better compared to that Tom Holland trilogy, to me.
Yo, it's over. Alright, it's over. Move the mic. Thank you. Alright.